Heritage Handler, a 4D browser, a research project presented by the Laboratoire d'Histoire et de Patrimoine de Montréal. Since the 80s and the arrival of CAD software on the market, it has been possible to implement 3D models of heritage buildings. Animated clips depicting facades of historic buildings have become ubiquitous. The person interested in getting information about built heritage doesn't have to be a bystander anymore. He or she can interact with a 3D environment. More and more buildings are no longer treated as objects frozen in time. Beyond 3D models, we now have access to the fourth dimension, namely time. Our 4D browser helps us broaden our knowledge regarding a heritage site. It also enables us to be actively involved in the learning process. We can handle the model, so to speak, and navigate within the 3D environment. We are able to make inquiries regarding the topics that are of interest to us. What used to be the appearance of the building? How did the district evolve over time? What kinds of activities took place inside the buildings? In order to get answers, we can simply push buttons or move a slider. The 4D browser instantly presents a 3D model to which a short text, an eyewitness account, or a set of photographs is attached. This is the trial version of the 4D browser developed by the Laboratoire d'Histoire et de Patrimoine de Montréal. This application has been implemented in order to disseminate information regarding Usine Raymond, a food processing plant situated on Pennet Street in the Centre-Sud district of Montreal, Canada. Over the years, this industrial complex evolved markedly within a rapidly changing neighborhood. The first building dates from the beginning of the 20th century. As time went on, 3 more buildings were added to the complex until the plant closed in the 70s. 20 years later, the former warehouse was converted to a cultural center, known as Usine C. Let's begin by finding out information regarding the district. The 3D model currently displayed represents the neighborhood surrounding the industrial complex. Several navigation tools are available to enable the interaction with this model. You can fly over it, zoom in and out, or modify the direction of the light. The history of the complex is divided into segments, and a timeline enables you to move from one period to another. By moving the slider, we can visualize the area and its evolution. A color code indicates the building uses: residential, commercial, industrial, or storage. Another color code gives information about building materials: brick, wood, or stone. For each period, a short text explains the context within which the evolution occurred. Now let's focus on the industrial complex itself. During the first periods, the main building wasn't built yet, and all surrounding buildings are ghosted. The main building was erected in 1915. A 4th floor was added to the building, and afterwards the owners added a warehouse, a boiler house, and an annex. Following the plant's closure, the former warehouse was converted into a cultural center, and a theater was erected on an adjacent lot. At each stage, a short text or an oral account provides information regarding the new construction. If you want to examine one of the buildings, you can modify the user's viewpoint by merely clicking on the corresponding button. It would also be interesting to see pictures of the heritage site to better visualize the texture of materials and the atmosphere of the premises. To date, no photograph taken in 1915 is available. To illustrate the following period, a set of photos is displayed. A legend explaining the content is attached to each of the pictures, as we can see in the following list. The main building in 1935, the warehouse in 1947, the annex in 1956, the Pennet Street facade after the plant's closure, the facade of the annex on Lalonde Street, l'usine C in 1995, the facade on Pennet Street, the view from Pennet and Lalonde, and the main entrance to usine C. To look inside the buildings, we can also slice the model. As we move along the timeline, the first floor of each building appears. Taking the 1950s as an example, we can see interior space for each period, one story at a time. For certain periods, photographs of some of the interiors are available. They show the activities taking place in different locations, as well as depicting interiors, as we can see in this view of the fourth floor of the annex. Moving along the timeline, we can see the space in 1995. The former warehouse is now a cultural center with the foyer and entrance hall on the first floor. To further consolidate our knowledge regarding Usine Raymond, we can get information on the artifacts, people, and events related to the site. By means of a drop-down menu, we can access text and images. This section gathers information with regards to the history, the location, the owners, the production, and the employees. The 4D browser is designed to be accessible to the general public. Our goal is to meet the needs of every type of user, regardless of his level of computer literacy, academic background, or age. The user explores the 3D environment at his own pace. He is able to move in whatever direction he wishes, look at photographs, listen to oral accounts, read text, slice the model, and fly over the site. This browser will be available shortly at the Écomusée du Tiers-Monde. By exploring the 3D environment, museum visitors will learn more about the Raymond Industrial Complex. Hopefully, it will provide every user with a rewarding and meaningful experience.